the way that they've been doing this, the math they did on this, releasing from the SPR actually isn't enough to lower costs. Number one, it's not enough to lower anything. And number two, you keep us dangerously low. The SPR is supposed to be our reserves for emergencies, etc. I mean, what is it? It's been over 190 million barrels so far. And that's only and that's only because of his own restrictions on oil and gas. So he hasn't that's no. And then he tried to go to Saudi Arabia, as we all remember. I mean, it is endangering national security with this. What do we do, heaven forbid, if something happens and we have the lowest level for our SPR that we've had, I think, in our lifetimes? But they're still committed to it. He ordered earlier this year 180 million barrels released, still committed to it. Yet it's draining anything that we would be able to have to rely on, heaven forbid, if something went sideways. They were unsuccessful with OPEC Plus. Now they're going to Venezuela. I mean, Deese has had a really hard time trying to explain this. I was reading the transcript of one interview that he had given when they were relying on SPR release after the Saudis kind of shut him down. And he was saying, well, these are private conversations that our administration is having. I mean, I'm just not going to. Yeah, lowest level since 1984. It's dangerous. It's not the oil companies that aren't producing enough. You've made it impossible for them to produce. Your party for the last 30 years has fought the expansion of refineries. And all assessments show that he is not, he's handling this horribly. And Institute for Energy Research did a huge thing on SPR, this idea that releasing from SPR would do anything to really actually help with gas and oil prices and, et cetera. And it's not. Usually the times that when administrations have done it previously, it's always to avert, and it's done like limited amounts, and they don't want a short run price increase because there's an emergency somewhere. That's typically like with Persian Gulf right after Hurricane Katrina. And that was just to stop, the short run price increase because of a natural disaster or something. But this, and they've always used it too in conjunction with increased domestic production, whereas Biden has handcuffed it and then further drains what our reserves are. So what is it? They said 2020 they would be producing after he was inaugurated 14 million barrels of oil a day. We're 2 barrels short of that now, and goodness, to constantly release from the SPR to counter any kind of increase in prices that happen because you restrict the supply from your policies. This is nuts.